Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of House of Sports Podcast. My name is Dwayne. I'm here with my guys, Smooth Chubbs, and we got Leighton in the building. Of course, he only shows up when the Ravens win. Jody will be joining us a little bit later in the podcast. But in this episode, we will be recapping the divisional round of the playoffs, discussing the AFC NFC Championship as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Few housekeeping things before we get started, man. Y'all know what to do. HD Sports Pod, everywhere. House Divided Sports Podcast on YouTube, man. Feeling blessed, feeling better, guys. How are we feeling this week? How are we feeling, Chubbs? Shout out to Chubbs. He went 3-1 this weekend. Shout out
You said it
DL.
best.
He went 3-1 this weekend. Shout out Joey. He went 2-2 this weekend, and Wayne had the worst record at 1-3. But the one that got one is really the one that's not the only one I wanted. But the one I got one is the one I feel good about. Because if the Bucks would have been the team that fucking won out of all the teams that I picked, I would have been pissed. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So feel good, man. How y'all feeling, man? Go ahead, Chubbs. Take the floor.
Hey, you said it. You already said it. Blessed and better, man. Blessed and better. I'm feeling blessed. Great weekend. Obviously, very excited about what happened. We're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna talk too much craziness because if anybody's seen my Twitter antics, I was very active on Twitter all weekend.
That's not the word to say. You were very nasty on Twitter all weekend. That's what you wanted to say. You were very nasty.
I said antics.
You said you were very nasty on Twitter this weekend. I thought he was my friend. He joining in on people that he don't even know, trying to gang up on me. It's all right. It's all right. I know where your allegiance lies.
But with the Ravens. I was very active, great weekend. And I just want to say one thing before we get into it. All these people trying to clown the Ravens, like Bengals fans, for them being excited about winning the game. You guys don't understand.
That's weird.
Look, yeah, exactly right. It's weird. Because here's the thing. They're going to the AFC Championship. First time since 2012, 2013, whatever it was. It feels like that long. It's been that long. 10 plus years. And this is the first time ever in the franchise history that they're playing an AFC Championship in Baltimore. So that's something to be like excited about. That's never happened, and they're the first team to ever do it. So for fans to be like, "Oh, thought you said don't get excited about going to the AFC Championship," I think it means more to them that it's the first team ever to have a home AFC Championship and be a first seed doing it. So we're going to get into the game. That's all I got to say. I'm very happy with my team. Go Ravens. Ravens flock. And we'll get into
Lord. About to be easy. Hey. Leighton, you got your ugly ass Ravens hoodie on. Talk to us. Your parka.
That's a poncho. That's a parka. Yeah, you're right. It's a parka.
We can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
It's like a sweater poncho type, You see what's going on. Like Chuck said, feeling good, happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, fellas. If y'all invited me more, I would be on. I don't come on when we winning, come on whenever. So, but I'm feeling good. Got the dub. Happy to be here.
Leighton here to see what's up about that bread.
Yeah, because you over there trolling early, man. Listen, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Hey, Ravens money line. Get it now.
Smooth. I'm tired of seeing this ugly ass Patriots background, but holler at us. What's going on? What is going on, Smog?
Patriots fan.
Smog.
I'm dead. Patriots fan through and through. I'm good. I think the one game I was, anticipating for a different outcome let me down. Yeah, it let me down. But
you should have went your gut. You'd have been 4-0 this week.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. we'll get into it like Chris said, but overall, feeling good about the playoffs. We was talking about. I kind of want to get some things clear about quarterback play. A lot of people were disappointed this week for me, but a lot of people showed up as well. But I just like I said, I think we're gonna clear some things up on the quarterback play. And we'll talk about the game that upset me the most. But overall,
before we get into it, as football fans, you should have loved this weekend because honestly, every game was highly entertaining. Besides one, really. Besides one, like the Ravens game got out of hand. It was close at halftime, but every other game, I think were like close games. So like if you were
it was
and they were exciting games.
Yeah, but just like I said, the quarterback play wasn't where I,
Yeah,
some of them.
which it was still good games throughout.
Yeah, overall, it was good games. Definitely good games overall.
So,
yeah, this was a real. Three of the games were good games. And let's get to the one bad game, in my opinion. Ravens versus the Texans. I'm gonna let the Ravens guys go. Oh, y'all going last. Y'all going last. Since it's y'all team, y'all go last. DL, you want to start? Give me your thoughts on the Ravens versus Texans games, and what?
I thought overall it was a good game early on. I think the Texans came out to play, Ravens came out to play, kind of dogfight to begin with, low scoring game. But then after that, it was pretty much Ravens realized they were a better team. They were playing a young team. The pressure that they was given, or getting to CJ Stroud with was what the Ravens have been doing all year. I really didn't expect this Texans team to do much against this team anyway. So overall, like I said, it was a good game in the first half, but Ravens basically just turned it up second half. Did what we all expected. Sad didn't win it anyway, so I wouldn't say they dominated, but it was the second half just in favor of the Ravens.
All right. I mean, I think the Ravens just were had some jitters to start. It's been a while. They're not even jitters. They're just rusty. They haven't played in a lot of starters haven't played in 3 weeks. So little rust that they had to get off. That punt return happened. I think Petrie could have changed the game if he actually catches that interception, and the game probably becomes a better game. But the Ravens defense locked down. That was the Ray Lewis esque, Ed Reed esque, early 2000 Ravens type defense. They didn't give up any touchdowns. The Texans looked uncomfortable. They didn't even get into the red zone. It was just pure domination. They may have had some drives where they got like 20, 30 yards, but they just dominated on all fronts. Defensively, they really were that. And then once the Texans offense couldn't get going, eventually that Texans defense was going to break down. I think they did a good job of Lamar in the second half, being able to diagnose the pressures and figure out what's going on. They made the Texans get out of their actual element, because what the Texans like to do is play zone, play soft man, not blitz, depend on their front four to get there, but they weren't getting pressure. Lamar had a lot of time back there in the pocket. He was able to do what he wanted to do, Then obviously Lamar on his feet was able to, run, had some effective runs throughout the game. But yeah, the Ravens just dominated through and through. This is a good confidence booster for the Ravens team, mainly Lamar. You see him taking a step up in leadership than he did the past couple of years. I know I heard him say before that, last year he was a little bit, in the past years he was a little bit more passive. But, this year, he said he's took on a more leadership role, speaking out. He said a lot of halftime was a lot of cussing, letting them know that they shouldn't be where they were at. So they're playing subpar to begin. In the second half, they show why they were the number 1 seed in AFC and why Texans were the number 4 seed. So overall, great game from the Ravens. Lamar had 100 and 100. I don't know. I don't think this was the game to say not so quarterbacky as I saw other ones. But like the Dolphins game was the perfect one for that. But the 100 yards passing, that's not the quarterbacky statement that everybody was running with. I was like, that's kind of crazy. This is the wrong game to say not the quarterback, even though he already debunked that, right? And Shawty's gonna get killed for that forever for saying that. But overall, great game from Lamar. Efficient, had to do what he had to do. He took what the defense was giving him, and that's how you win games. So, Coach, you had the timeout sign like you are all
So you said pretty much the whole thing. But one thing I will say, just to base off of what people were saying before the game and after the game, because this team's always going to be compared to that 2019 team. In 2019, no adjustments were made. This team's actually making adjustments, and it's showing that they're making adjustments. Greg Roman made 0 adjustments in the past 4 years with Lamar. He had what the game plan was. They were sticking to it because he's Greg Roman and he's hard headed, and that's what they're going to do. You're going to do what I tell you to do, basically. Monken actually has been saying for the all year, really, his relationship with Lamar is hand in hand. He talks to him. What Lamar wants to do, he listens, and he lets him do it. Like, Lamar has more say in the offense. So the adjustments were made, and that's the big difference from the last year or 2 years, 3 years ago, and now. You summed up the game pretty much. I'm not really going to touch too much on the game, but one thing I will say that I don't agree with is you're talking about his passing. He was 16 for 22, 150 for 2 touchdowns. I get it that it wasn't gaudy numbers. They had 200 yards rushing, Wayne. They had about 20 more minutes of possession off of just rushing the football. I think Justice Hill had 66 yards or something like that. Edwards had about 50. I know Lamar had 100. I get it. That's what Lamar was doing. They were playing bail coverage, and he was taking what they were giving him.
What are you arguing that I said?
I'm just saying, you're saying he don't look much like a quarterback. Like, I think
he
looks like a quarterback.
I said everybody's saying, "Oh, not so bad, not too quarterback." I was like, this isn't the game to say those sentiments. Is all I was saying.
I mean, I'm just saying for those people that are saying that.
I mean, his game was definitely more quarterbacky than the tailback that we're going to discuss later today. So,
but I'm saying, like, for instance, like Shannon Sharp made a good point today on ESPN, since we were saying ESPN. There was a point where Lamar probably could have ran in for his 3rd touchdown. It was wide open, but you know what he did? He dumped it off to the wide open man and stayed in the pocket. Nelson Aguilar, great touchdown going across. So he's sitting in the pocket. Like, he's not like he's just taking off, just take off. But if you got it, but I'm just telling for people, 200 yards rushing. That's why he only has 150 yards passing.
150 yards
as a team.
That's crazy. I don't care what your team did. That's 150 yards passing. That's crazy.
It's the nah.
But he just took on the defense.
Dominating will.
Yeah, you guys
dominating will.
You guys had a lot of short fields anyway, so that's why I'm not hating. Had a lot of short fields because your defense did what they were supposed to do. Whenever you guys pinned them back, they stayed pinned back. Got some short fields. Did what you had to do. Lay talk to us, man.
Everything really. I will say, I kind of, like you said, at halftime, I kind of think we started to wear them out, really. Them big runs, trying to contain Lamar Jackson is an issue for everybody in the league. Those runs, they're definitely deflating. I definitely, we on defense before, like big runs like that, especially in playoff time, is cold. It hurts. I feel like we just wore them out. But I will say this. CJ Stroud's going to be a problem. I want to make that be known. Like, he played a really good and he didn't score this game, but we also did that to him week 1. But every other game, he was putting up crazy numbers. So I feel like another year, a couple of years, like, he's going to be next up. But, it's our time, so I'm not really worried about that. It's really about us. We handled business. We did what we had to do. And now we got that man Milhomme up next, so we gotta be ready to lock in.
Touching upon Lamar's, I feel like the Steelers, and it's not even just like talking about my team, but I just don't get how people, and I think it's just, I watch football games, and as a former D lineman, it drives me nuts how these defensive linemen lose contain and don't have discipline in their pass rush lanes on a weekly basis. I'm talking every single team I've watched. They just lose contain. I'm like, they have a mobile quarterback. Pass rush lane discipline is very, very, very important. How do you continuously mess this up on a week to week basis? I watch the Steelers do it. I watch the Ravens do it. I watch the 49ers do it. I watch the Packers do it, which I watched the Chiefs do it yesterday. I'm just like, yo, pass rush, like as a former D lineman, it drives me crazy how over and over and over and over and over again you lose pass rush lane discipline against Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Like, it don't make no sense to me how that's what we talk about all game is, yo, let's try to make them not beat us with our legs, and we just don't have great pass rush lane display, especially like third and long. Like, bro, come on, it's crazy, it's crazy. But shout out to Lamar, man. Like you said, CJ Stroud's definitely going to be a problem to deal with. You said 2 years. I think next year, I think not having Tank Dell really showed that in this game, missing someone like him was very, very important for them. I still don't think it would have made a difference. But game may have been looked a little better. But it's missing someone like that, Nico Collins he was doing all he could do, but y'all wasn't trying to y'all was making sure he wasn't going crazy. Y'all boys was hitting though. Y'all was hitting on there. Y'all had Dalton Schultz and his feelings. Dalton Schultz was in his feelings. So,
a big shout out to Ronald Darby. He been playing big football for the Ravens. Big football, not giving up hardly anything. So shout out to him.
Ronald Darby. Shout out Arthur Millette too. He been playing some big minutes for you.
He balling for us.
Judge, you put a question: is Lamar Hall of Famer? And I felt like we kind of talked about.
That's not me. That's not me. I didn't put that.
I put that. The whole thing. I put that.
Why is that question? Do you not think he's a Hall of Famer?
Now? Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
What changed your mind now to make him a Hall of Famer if you didn't think he was a Hall of Famer before?
What changed my mind? I did not think he was a Hall of Famer before. I think he has Hall of Fame talent. He has an MVP. He's going to win another MVP this year. When healthy, he's always been in conversations for top 5 quarterback in the league of his generation. So all of these are things that, you take into consideration when you consider MVP. A Hall of Fame quarterback. He has years to come, still young. And I think he's still in his prime. So I think he has a lot more to accomplish. But if he wins the Super Bowl, this definitely solidifies his Hall of Fame status. And it wasn't an argument in general. It was just a question that I had.
Yeah, no, definitely Hall of Famer.
And I think, like I said, when it comes
to second MVP, solidified it.
Yeah, we just got a lot of young quarterback talent that's coming up. A lot quarterback talent, and you see these young quarterbacks who are making waves first round of the playoffs, who are taking these teams that don't have a lot of weapons to the playoffs. So that just shows that they have a bright future ahead of them in the NFL. So I'm just trying to figure out,
No, I like it.
I'm not gonna say we're gonna talk about later too, like as far as
we could get to the next topic that you had is which of these young quarterbacks do we think are going to win a Super Bowl first? And I'm gonna add another name to that for you guys. So you got right now there you have Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Drake May, JD. Who's JD?
Jaden Daniels.
Oh, Jaden Daniels. And please respect Anthony Richardson. Don't ever disrespect him and put all these rookies.
Should have etc.
So out of the young QBs named, who do you think has the best chance, you guys, to actually produce and win a Super Bowl?
Oh, you guys are setting me up. You're setting me up, DL.
Say it, Todd. Ooh, L-O-V.
Wait. We're talking about the young guys that I see underneath the higher
guys that aren't even drafted yet, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got just in general, like
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, honestly, like Caleb, because we don't know who Caleb's going, like team. You know what I mean? You don't know he's going to end up with. He's going to end up with a trash ass squad first year and a bad quarterback, like a bad coach. Never know. But it sounds like he might be Bears because Cliff Kingsbury might be going to be in the OC over there. But if we're doing this, I don't know why you have Love up there with these names. So
why is Love?
Actually, wait, pause. Sorry. I did not. My bad. Not Love. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has a better chance over Love because I don't know what that defense is going to look like in the next few years, and that defense is very good, which helped him out getting the ball back. I don't know if Jair is going to be on the team.
That is very asinine to say that CJ Stroud has the best chance out of these names because he's in the AFC with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Time out, DL. Correct me if I'm wrong, but who did he say was his dark horse MVP?
MVP and Super Bowls is two different things, as Lamar Jackson can attest to.
Why wasn't Jordan Love your dark horse MVP before the year?
Anthony Richardson? No, Anthony Richardson.
No.
My dark horse.
Halfway when Anthony Richardson went down, your tone went to CJ Stroud being the MVP because they were winning games.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Jordan Love's my favorite for MVP next year. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry. We got a whole offseason to talk about J Love.
Okay. This is the last episode talking about J Love,
bro. This isn't just about Jordan Love.
No. I'll put him in order, DL. I'll put him in order for you. So the best chance is going to be Jordan Love.
Then Love.
Jordan Love. Let me tell you why Jordan Love. Because he's in the NFC and the quarterbacks there. You can already argue that he's a top 3 quarterback in his conference already. The rest of these guys, depending on where they're drafted, are not top 3 quarterbacks in their respective conferences, right? See, Jordan Love took the youngest team in NFL history to the playoffs and won a playoff game, right? The receiving core is young, right? Offensive lineman, yeah, they got Bakhtiari's going to be gone, but he was even there this year. So, not really worried about that. They still got Aaron Jones locked down for a couple years. They were on the brink of winning a game and getting to the NFC Conference Championship. I say, and we look at the NFC, look at the landscape of NFC. We think the Eagles. You guys think the Eagles' run is over? You guys think the Cowboys are done? They're cooked too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else? What other team you gonna look to in the NFC outside of the 49ers? Who we just saw them take to the brink of elimination?
Lions.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the Lions. The Lions and the 49ers. So out of those two teams, you guys see them being the cream of the crop. That's what you guys see. And outside of that, the Packers are in that 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever next. These next guys aren't going to be. The best thing in the AFC they could be is the 4th best team, right? I think, me personally, I can't see the Texans, me ever picking the Texans above, the Ravens. I only did that because I'm hating. But, realistically, we're looking realistically, right?
Did the Ravens, the Packers, Chiefs, and Rams play this year?
The Packers and Rams, yeah, they played this year.
Who won?
I don't know. Probably Rams.
I want to say Rams. I want to say Rams.
I think the Rams.
So I think Stafford's window's closing, but if they get a viable quarterback, that's a team that's going to be a thorn in their side because McVay can coach.
Yeah, but he couldn't coach Jared Goff. Remember that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he needs a Hall of Fame. Maybe he needs a Hall of Fame talented quarterback to actually make some shit shake. So I just think the way how young the Packers are and how everything's going, they got the best chance. Jordan Love got the best chance. I honestly don't think. I think it depends. If Caleb goes to the Bears, I don't think him. But Drake may, depending on where he goes to. Wherever he goes, he may have a better chance, right? Wherever Jaden Daniels go. To me, any quarterback at AFC kind of stuck. They literally have to come in and be a generational talent. Because of all the good QBs in the AFC. All the good QBs. Whoever, let's say Caleb Williams and him going to the Falcons and Bill Belichick is there. Then I'll give him the next in line chance. But like all these other quarterbacks, to me, the best they'll ever get to is the AFC Championship. The best. That's just my opinion. Leighton, DL, who you guys get the best chance?
I hate to say it, but yeah, I probably agree. Jordan Love, for a lot of the reasons you said, that was a young team they had. A lot of them are coming back. And that shows that the Packers know how to draft well. They'll probably find some defensive pieces throughout the draft, and they'll be ready to run it back. Yeah, look, that AFC loaded. Like Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, still got Trevor Lawrence. Like CJ Stroud has to go against Trevor Lawrence every year, and Anthony Richardson. Like they're all in one division. Joe Burrow's coming back. Like you, that AFC, it's going to be a dog fight every year. So if you in the NFC, you in good shape, honestly.
There's only three AFC teams that don't have their quote unquote quarterback.
Yeah,
and two of them are in Patrick Mahomes' conference. Go figure.
I think the bigger
and Aaron Rodgers back.
not issue, but the argument I guess is when you get there, you got to play Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
I think it's Patriots.
If we're insinuating Raiders, we're going to insinuate that for the next 5-6 years, 3 to 5 years, the Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow are going to be only two in the AFC make it to the championship. I think one of these. I think I'm just saying, like, just generally, hypothetically speaking, if those are the powerhouses, you know what I'm saying? We're saying Josh Allen can't get out of the AFC, can't get out of the AFC, and Joe Burrow is kind of the next thing in the AFC, Patrick Mahomes. So, and Lamar Jackson. Sorry, forgot about him. I always forget about Lamar Jackson. Whatever. But let's say those quarterbacks, they're like I said, they're still in the AFC. Bryce Young's in the NFC. And depending on where some of these other quarterbacks get drafted, they can come out the NFC as well. Giving them time to develop a team for the next 2-3 years. I'm gonna say Bryce Young. that's the take.
I don't believe in him
because, like I said, the question is Super Bowl. They still got to win the Super Bowl. If they're playing Patrick Mahomes or whoever, they're not going to. You doubt they're going to beat them. But you know, if he can build his team, the Panthers can build their team. Maybe, you know, obviously it takes a lot, but I just think like a young quarterback, if you put the right pieces around him, we've seen it. Jordan Love been able to carry a team to the playoffs. Texans in Houston, CJ Stroud been able to carry a team to the playoffs. I think a lot of these young quarterbacks can do such. So I mean that's just basically what the question was posed. Because I think a lot of these quarterbacks, have a chance. But I think
let's talk about it.
They got to get past Jared Goff.
Let's talk about it, Dia, real quick, because here's the deal. Caleb or May are either going to be a Bear, a Commander, or a Patriot.
It could be a Falcon too. Don't worry.
I don't. If Caleb doesn't go one,
no, they're talking about trades.
I'm saying if he doesn't go one. I mean, if the Falcons trade up, sure. But Commanders and Patriots are 2 and 3.
Oh yeah,
those are quarterbacks.
Yeah. You're right. My bad.
So those are the three teams we're really looking at. And look at those rosters currently. I mean, do you believe that you guys? I mean, you might believe. Hey, give me Caleb Williams, give me Drake May. Hey, Patriots shaking something, right?
No, not with us. We're much more than just a quarterback. To be.
I mean, you're getting a quarterback.
But I would say the Commanders, but I feel like the Commanders gonna have to give up some of their defense assets for that. For quarterback, yeah.
They have the second pick.
Yeah, but they're not. I'm thinking they go like receiver.
What the fuck? Y'all gotta stop this. Y'all gotta stop this, bro.
Ooh.
Y'all got what's that quarterback name? Powell Howell? What's his name?
No, Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
I think they keep him.
I think they should, but I know they're going to draft a quarterback.
They should not keep saying that.
Thank you, Layton. I don't know what they're talking about right now.
He was leading the league in yards at one
They're
point.
going to. Because
if you're losing every game, you're gonna lead the league in yards.
Hey, that's what Dak was doing at one point, right?
Facts. I remember.
We praised that though.
I did not praise him, bro.
Dak did though. I mean, not Joe did though.
Scary Terry and
That was Joe's guy. Look at his
They got enough receivers. If they draft a receiver,
they don't need a receiver. That'd be stupid as hell. Yeah, fired.
Get fired again. Yeah, immediately.
Hey, I don't care if you came from Warriors. You're fired.
Quarterback. We definitely need to pick up a quarterback.
I mean, you're looking at
and Dan Quinn.
You're gonna get McCarthy from
That's nasty. All right, man. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get to the Packers-Niners game, which was the next game. Well, Packers versus Niners. Who wants to start this off?
Packers versus Niners.
I could go.
Wayne, you're gonna have to. Hold on.
I could go. So Packers versus Niners, man. Jordan Love almost did it, man. He almost got the job done, but he turned into Brett Favre with whatever time left on the clock. Did an ill-advised throw, and I felt like he forced it because they did not believe in their kicker. You know, this kicker was underset. Well, he was like at 70% in college. Who drafts a kicker?
Why is he in the NFL?
Thank you, Chubbs. Thank you.
The
coach said, whenever he goes out there, all I do is pray. He said he prays.
Wait.
He prays.
Hold on. I'd rather go get destroying or something and go kick a field goal than a guy that's 70%.
Because his brother's nice. That's why he got drafted. So, like, your brother nice.
Oh, it's a Giannis thing.
Nice.
That's a Milwaukee thing. What are we doing here?
Like, it's crazy. Something's wrong with that cheese in Wisconsin. But Jordan Love, man, he played fantastic until the fourth quarter. They had 3 fantastic quarters, and then he played average, and then he threw an ill-advised. He had 2 ill-advised interceptions. But I think the Packers lost this game more than the Niners won this game, if you ask me. Their defense came to play. Thank God Brock Purdy has a Christian McCaffrey who can bail him out until he wants to show up in the fourth quarter. But C-Mac went off. He went crazy, had some big runs. But yeah, I think the Packers' future is bright, man. Shout out to Purdy for actually showing that he can lead a game-winning drive. Perfect drive. The only incompletion on that drive was a George Kittle drop, which was on the money too. So when the rubber met the road, Brock Purdy did show up, and unfortunately, Jordan Love made an ill-advised crossbody throw. So I say this all to say Jordan Love probably was going into this playoff game the second or third best quarterback playing based upon like stats and everything that he did the last 9 games. But at the end of the day, he did have some ill-advised interceptions. Shout out Greenlaw. And they also, they played really good defense. I think they left 6 or 9 points on the board, which ended up coming back to bite them in the ass at the end of the day. Loss of downs, missed field goal, left some points on the board. And the most important thing that I learned during this weekend, man, when you get into that red zone in the playoffs, it's about who scored touchdowns versus who actually kicks the field goals. When you're in the red zone, you need to score more touchdowns than you actually do kick field goals. Something Green Bay didn't do. So yeah. And Savage probably could have ended the game if we got that pick 6, dropped it. They had a lot of opportunities. Brock Purdy had like 3 drop picks that the Green Bay Packers dropped. And they just didn't capitalize on them. Last week they capitalized on those. This week they didn't capitalize on those. So that was the biggest difference in the game. They capitalized on the mistakes that the other team made. This week they didn't, and they made the mistake. So shout out to the Packers on a great season. You got a great quarterback going into the year next year. Future Hall of Famer, future MVP of the league, all of the above. They got another one over there in Green Bay. It's just unfair. It's unfair to see guys like that get quarterbacks, and then you got franchises like the Browns, who just been suffering for decades, not being able to get a quarterback. Dolphins not being able to get a quarterback since Dan Marino. The Chicago Bears not being able to get a quarterback ever in their franchise history. and Green Bay just gets 3 of them back to back to back, like over like a 40-year period. So it's kind of crazy to see that. But yeah, man, shout out to the Niners. They escaped more so to me than they actually won.
I can agree with that. I can agree. I don't think the 49ers really played that great. After watching the game, I watched it with my dad, and we looked at each other and we both agreed like Packers probably should have won that football game. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna harp too much on Jordan Love trying to make a play. The only thing I will harp on him for is look, the inexperience kind of showed because one thing, even in youth football, high school, college, I know they've told the quarterback never throw the ball across body, cross field. Typically, you're giving the ball hangs in the air too long. You're giving the defender time to make a play on it, and 9 times out of 10, unless you're Patrick fucking Milhomes, it's a pick. The safety usually gets it. Greenlaw just happened to be a bat out of hell and got the ball. But the thing is, never roll right and then throw back left. Shit never works. It doesn't work in Madden. It doesn't work in real life unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm gonna harp on him for. Though I agree that like the future is bright for that org, but Wayne and everybody, there's some question marks going into the year. I mean, in the off season, so that team could look different. But I think they did enough to maybe sway some of these vets that are on the team that are going into a contract, like 26-year-old vets, not like vets, going into their contract years to maybe stick through it because we do have a franchise quarterback. We're not going to draft another quarterback. This is our franchise guy. Played well. Let's run it back. Maybe we could do something. Like you said, NFC is weak. The NFC is the East back in the day. The AFC is the fucking West. Like all the hard teams like and quarterbacks are in the West. I've been saying it before the year even started. All the quarterbacks that are worth a damn went to the AFC for some reason. So I don't know. Packers, I do believe at the end of the day did deserve it. But 49ers just seem to have a horseshoe up their ass. So that's all I really got to say on that. I do believe it's going to be very rough for the 49ers, though. And I'm borderline. I'm not going to say it because they might ball the fuck out just because I say it. But Chase Young and Nick Bosa, trash right now. Trash.
They're just hanging around.
They are. Did you see the joke about him? There was somebody just going around in a circle doing this the whole time, saying this is Chase Young the last 3 seasons.
Crazy.
I mean, what do you guys think about them? They should be getting in the backfield.
I think the Packers just had a great game plan, A lot of play action to keep them off the hip. And then also like it's hard to really rush a passer coming from a former D lineman. Like the way Aaron Jones was running the ball and how he was playing, like it's hard to, the way the Packers came out, had the quarterback under center a lot. Jordan Love, honestly, bro, until that interception, bro, he like a vet out there. And then he just did some Brett Favre shit. He pissed me off. But yeah.
Hey, Titans just signed their new coach, Bengals offensive coordinator.
Oh, shout out to the Titans.
Brian Callahan. Anybody? DL, Layton, welcome, Joe.
Welcome, Joe.
Can we talk about how the 49ers, I want to touch on 2 things. One, the 49ers look like a completely different offense when Debo was out the game. Mm-hmm. I didn't think, obviously he's a captain. He's a very versatile player. I didn't think he was that big of a piece, but it looked like night and day compared to when he was in to when he's out. And second, like Wayne said, the Packers clearly did not trust their kicker. Special teams, it's the playoffs. Like, it's all 3 phases of football now. Like, special teams had a huge role in a lot of these games. we'll talk about it more, I'm sure, when we talk about the Bills. I say we gave up a huge return that could have cost us the game down in Houston when we were playing Houston. So special teams is going to be pivotal. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more plays down the stretch that are going to practically decide who goes to the Super Bowl. So definitely keep an eye out for like stuff like that for sure.
Smooth. Niners Packers.
I thought it was good game overall. Jordan Love played phenomenal to me for his first time playing against a team like that. I am a little worried about the 49ers. A little bit, mostly because like you said, Debo Samuel did go down. I was gonna put that on the document, is how reliable is Debo. He's been very back and forth this season as far as injuries are concerned. But just the two mistakes by Jordan Love, as Wayne mentioned, kind of cost him in the end. But again, the rookie mistakes. I think overall he had a good season, but the more experienced team won here. Kyle Shanahan used his weapon in Christian McCaffrey, best running back in football. Get him involved, definitely bailed him out. But that's what you resort to in games like this. But way closer than I thought. Definitely applaud the Packers for the season that they had. But this is kind of the game that I want to see was Detroit and 49ers. So looking forward to this one.
Joe, talk to us, man.
Talking about 49ers Packers.
Yeah.
It was what I expected. Close game. Pretty much I thought that was gonna happen. Yeah, Debo going down was a factor, but we saw what led to the game-winning drive for the 49ers, which was Christian McCaffrey. It's kind of hard to stop that guy. You got some dump offs to him, some good runs by him, and it's just laid them to get that. But Jordan Love, man, I mean, that's what I expect from a guy in his first year in the league. Now I didn't expect him to go all the way, but I expect him to make it a game. But I also expect to see mistakes. He made a mistake at the end of the game that cost him the game, which was okay. I think that's going to happen as a young quarterback, and for him to be in that position was already a win in itself. But for him to play against a top defense, we do talk a lot about Debo was missing. But we praised that defense a lot this season, and I don't think we said much how much Jordan Love looked good against that defense. So I'm impressed. I'm happy with what he did, and he's got a good future ahead of him. But 49ers going into the future, I'm not too worried about the 49ers defense, but I'm sure we're going to get into that soon. But that's all I got.
Well, I just want to hear. So, Chubbs, you was talking shit before because talking about Jordan Love, a future Hall of Famer. And when I said Jordan Love was a future Hall of Famer, I was speaking about the talent that I saw, and I knew that the positions that he was going to be in, he was going to be a future Hall of Famer. To say someone is a future Hall of Famer, I hate when you say that's too early because there are people when draft coming up, we say this guy has Hall of Fame talent. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday, right? And we just because me and Joey saw the vision early, you were insulted. You were upset. Chubbs, Jordan Love has solidified himself right now in the league as a top 8 quarterback in the NFL. He's top 8 in the league. And I just want you to know that. And it's going to be like that for a very, very long time. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. He's going to be another Green Bay Packer that's going to put on a gold jacket in Canton. Just want you to know that.
Wayne, before you do your recap for the
Clip it.
and Green Bay, I do
Statements
want to
forever.
I do want to say this because we were talking about this in the chat, and Chubbs was pretty much saying we're being illogical, we're not looking at the facts, we're not looking at certain things. My basis on calling Jordan Love a future Hall of Famer is because I've watched what Green Bay has done, and I said this before on the podcast. I've watched what Green Bay has done and how they transition quarterbacks, and what we saw with Aaron Rodgers was he sat behind Brett Favre, he learned, he watched, and he became who he became. For the Green Bay Packers know how to grow or how can I say, make these
develop.
develop quarterbacks. And I said this on the pod before. Now, the difference between Jordan Love and why I said it so early was that Brett Favre did not mentor Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, when Jordan Love came in, even though he was upset they drafted him, he still mentored Jordan Love. And I saw that. And when coming into, I was like, okay, he's about to leave, exit, and now it's Jordan Love to shine. And it's kind of hard for me to say he's not going to ball, right? But what I saw was like, man, if you're getting mentored by Aaron Rodgers, you watched him play, you watched him go through these, and you watch Aaron Rodgers win 2 MVPs. So when watching those seasons and getting groomed by Aaron Rodgers, like, man, he has it. And also I watched him throw the ball. I watched his talent. So I was like, the only thing that's missing with quarterbacks that have the talent is this. So if you get that from Aaron Rodgers, which is the mind, your brain, if you get that from Aaron Rodgers and how he sees the field, the sky's the limit, man. So, but that's all I wanted to say, man, because I just wanted to bring logic behind it and a couple facts, and that's all.
I understand, and I respect your take right there and your opinion on it. But the thing, all I'm saying is with me, this is my thing. I need to see more before I get that you guys have different takes from looking at it. For instance, a couple years ago, we said another guy was future Hall of Famer. He had 2 dud seasons, and we're not talking about him being a future Hall of Famer no more.
Who? Gesicki?
Mike Gesicki.
Come on, man. It was my team. I was
Nah.
Now you're trolling. Don't say we. Don't say we.
Now you're trolling.
All right.
Gesicki never had a season like Jordan Love just had.
Now you're trolling. But listen.
And let's be real. I also said Mike Gesicki he will be a future Hall of Famer if you put him back in the right position. He went to the Patriots.
All I'm saying is
he went to the Patriots.
Right now, it's all hypotheticals.
But to bring that back and say Mike Gesicki, it's not the same. It's really not the same. And
all I'm saying is,
but also it was my team.
I'm not saying Jordan Love is going to do this, but this is all possibilities. Jordan Love could have great seasons, but these are all ifs right now. If he doesn't, if he struggles, we're going to revisit this topic,
and that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead with my
I already spoke about this, so we can move on to the next game. Lions versus the Bucks. Detroit won the game 23-31. Detroit guys, talk to me. How are you guys feeling after this victory and them getting to the NFC Championship?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I predicted them to be very good, be a very good team this year. I actually had them in my bracket, my family bracket. I got them playing a certain team in the Super Bowl, but we're gonna get into that later. But I just think a lot of positive things we saw, especially for this matchup they're going into. I think that the defense is hit or miss, but they play hard. And they make plays. I like CJ Gardner. He's just gritty and he's scrappy. He makes plays, it seems like, in postseason, no matter what the score is, he makes a play. He did it for the previous teams. He was on with the Eagles and on. He was in the Saints. I just think this team can make some noise and make the Super Bowl if they just have the same production from their running backs, because their running game opens up that passing game. We said it time and time again, and that's what you got. You say that's why you guys call Goff a manager. It's just the system Goff's meant to be in. He kills in the play action game. He needs a running game to kill in that play action. And we can't harp on him hitting the wide open passes because the reason why they're effective is because Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery and Craig Reynolds are getting yards after contact in like more than 4 or 5 yards. They run hard as shit, and the offensive line is top 10, if not top 5. So that's going to coincide, go head to head with that 49ers defense. I'm very impressed with what I watched. Defensively, it could have been better. But offensively, that offense has the tools to beat the 49ers, especially what I watched with the 49ers versus the Packers, because we all agreed the Packers probably should have won that game. So Detroit's legit. Detroit is legit.
I don't think this game tells too much about Detroit. I think that they was kind of legit before this game. I think their defense played better than I thought that they would play against this team. Giving up for the most part 17 points, and they gave it that last touchdown towards the end. But I think for the Lions, the offense moved the ball very, very well. Like Chris just explained, Jared Goff was he threw the ball 50 times. That's a lot. But at the same time, he was also running the ball. But yeah, he was finding his targets, putting the ball, where his receiver could catch it. No turnovers. Took care of the ball, punted on like only 3 or 4 drives the entire game. Time of possession was up. I just think Detroit as a team was doing all the things that they've been doing for the past last few weeks or last 6 weeks. I just think they're in their mode. Like I said, I think they've been legit for a while, and they're just riding that wave. But yeah, as a team, have grown since last year, and we'll see them. I think this game against the 49ers is really going to tell more than anything that they've faced throughout the whole season. I do have them winning, but yeah, that's just me. Not gonna knock anybody who don't believe in them.
Shout out to the Lions for winning this game. Shout out to y'all. Baker played well, but had some interceptions. That interception in the game was just crazy. I just don't know why he did that. That was just wild to me. The first interception wasn't his fault. Mike Evans got to catch that. That's all when CJ Gardner Johnson was like, he said, I don't watch film, but I caught a pick. I was like, bro, it was a tip pass. He was open. He dropped it. And you caught a pick. Shout out to you, though. The thing that impressed me more than anything was also the Lions defensive line. I shit on Aiden Hutchinson at the beginning of the year. He's been proving me wrong. Especially in this playoff. So shout out to him. Playing well. Happy for the city of Detroit to get to the NFC Championship. All the weapons playing really well. Amon-Ra St. Brown is top 5. Definitely top 5. Gibbs, Montgomery playing well. Penny Sewell playing well. I hope Frank is good. I know he finished the game, but you feel some shit after the game. But he should be good. They did lose a lineman there as well. And they were able to, for the most part, control this D line, the front four that the Bucks had, in my opinion. The Bucks front four is pretty impressive. So they did a good job handling them. Ryan Neal, you should just make sure you walk home after you got shook by that third string tight end and who did a move that I could have done. I didn't realize it was that easy to shake you. That was crazy. But shout out to the Lions. Shout out to Jared Goff playing a pretty clean game. His offensive line has been an amazing job keeping him protected. When he's protected, he plays phenomenal. When he's protected, he plays phenomenal. That's always been a thing with him. When he's protected, he's phenomenal. When he's under pressure, he's been iffy. But so far, he's been being highly protected, and he's been killing teams for not getting there to him. So shout out to the Lions, great win. The Bucks, honestly, it was kind of crazy to me. Like, just the middle of the field was just always open. I didn't get it. It was just all always open. anytime somebody in the Detroit caught the ball in the middle of the field, nobody within 3 yards of them. I don't know what the game plan was, but all that blitzing shit did not work this game. I tell you that. So shout out to that. But more importantly, shout out to Eric Glenn, man. These second half adjustments he's been making these past 2 games has been very, very impressive. The whole team's off. So that was a good game, man. We had some really, really good games this weekend, man. This was another good one. So yeah. Lincoln Joe, anything you want to go?
Yeah, yeah, like you said, touching on Eric Glenn, he had that defense playing way better than I had anticipated. Um, I thought that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin were going to present challenges. Cade Otton had stepped up the past couple weeks too. He's been playing really well. I thought they were going to present more of a challenge, but like you said, their pass rush and they did well on the back end. Dan Campbell, I like him as a coach. He kind of, their whole thing is grit. I think he definitely is like riding that wave. Like they just are a gritty team. They're not going to go away. They play a full 60 minutes. And that's going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs. And I kind of have them winning next week too. So yeah, it was a good win by Detroit. Yeah, that's all I got.
Muted.
We can't hear
Muted,
you.
Joe.
You muted, Joe.
That was just a great game. In general, it was just a great game to watch. Great game to see. Even if you're a Lions, even if you're a Buccaneers fan, yeah, it sucks. Baker throwing that interception at the end of the game. Seems like that was like the theme for last week. But I do want to praise the Lions for making it this far, getting this far. I love Dan Campbell he's a great coach. One of the things that do worry me about the Lions. Well, actually, let me get into the game. But the Lions, they had a great game. They had a great game plan, stuck to it, and they knew the weakest part of the Buccaneers defense was the linebackers, and they attacked the linebackers all game. Reason why Sam Laporta had most of the targets that game. So and why he had also the most receptions. So he was eating. He was eating. So was St. Brown. The running game was working well as well. And shout out to Jared Goff making the throws that you need to make. Sometimes the pressure was there, and he still sat in the pocket, made the throw, and it happened. He threw some very nice passes, precision passes as well. But one of the things that worried me about the Lions is that throughout the season, one of the biggest things that I said is that, and this was a thing that no one said about them really, and that they said about the Dallas Cowboys, that they said about the Miami Dolphins, when they play these high or really great teams that we see right now in the playoffs, they don't play so well. They did lose to the Cowboys. They did get killed by the Ravens. So when we watch them probably going against the 49ers, I wonder how they would play versus that team. Because when you look at the people that they played and who they beat, it's not that really impressive, right? But they made it. They made it. They're here. And all you had to do was beat Buccaneers. And what was the other team in the first round?
They play the Rams.
The Rams, the Buccaneers and the Rams. So again, I'm looking at those teams. They just got into the playoffs, 9-8, 9-8. So I do want to see them play a better team, and it's in the NFC Championship, which is the 49ers. They have a better defense than most that they run into this season. And they're going versus a better offense than most that they have run into this season. So, and the teams that they have run against that had a great offense, they lost. So, I don't have them winning. It's kind of hard for me to say because again, I haven't seen much.
Say the prediction. Say the prediction.
We could talk about it though. We'll talk about it later. But that's what I got for them. But they had a great game, man. Great game. That's how you win a game. Dan Campbell is probably the best situational coach that I've seen in a while.
He's aggressive, and that pays off a lot.
But he makes the right decisions though. Sometimes he knows when to punt it, he knows when to go for it. And he's just every decision he's made so far has benefited the Lions So
And he's the
every
perfect-
Except for that Cowboys call.
He's the perfect fit for that city too.
yeah, he's awesome.
Except for that Cowboys call.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Because they lost.
They lost.
Wayne,
Oh, all right.
what we doing?
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get to the final game of the day yesterday. Chiefs versus Bills, man. How are we feeling about that game yesterday? Anybody can start.
I personally loved watching the game. It was very exciting. Being a, and I'm gonna get into my be an old head, I guess, for the younger crowd. But being a coach, I would want my kids that I coach to watch that game, like the battle between Milhomes, Allen. It was like how we watched Brett Favre, the battle, Ben Roethlisberger battles, like Carson Palmer, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, like battles between these quarterbacks that were like good. Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, the QB battles we grew up on in the playoffs and like that were good ass games. That was what this was. We knew it was going to be exciting. You knew that whoever was going to get the ball last was probably going to win the game.
Which didn't have to be the case.
Which didn't have to be the case, but it was moving towards that. I thought it was a great game as a football fan. I do believe both teams could have done things differently to either make the score greater or make the outcome different. Both teams made mistakes, but that's just playoff football, and both teams capitalized off mistakes, except for one. But yeah. I personally thought the Bills, if they made that field goal, I thought they probably would have pulled it off in the overtime, or some crazy shit would have happened, like them score and then the Chiefs score and then get a 2-point, then them lose off of their rule because they made a whole new rule. I thought it was gonna be fixed like that way, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna go overtime.
Listen, never mind. Go ahead.
But Travis Kelce and Patty, congratulations. Y'all broke the record for the duo with the tight end or receiver and quarterback duo, whatever that it is. I think they passed Joe Montana and Rice and Gronk and Brady. Yeah. So congratulations. You guys are now officially the greatest duo in postseason history. Well, it was postseason award, Wayne. So like, or postseason record. So postseason history. But y'all gonna get that ass whooped next week. So
anybody else want to go? We go last.
One more thing. Miko Hardman, pack your bags, buddy.
Yeah, his numbers are insanely ridiculous. Yeah, no, man, this game very much disappointed me. Before the playoffs started, I had the Chiefs either not making it, and if they did, I said they would lose first round or win the Super Bowl, and here they are on their way to win the Super Bowl. I think, like I said, the Bills was the team to beat them. Bills did a lot of things right yesterday, but they also did a lot of things wrong. Missed opportunities across the board. I'm not going to blame one person on this loss at all. Josh Allen missed some plays. Stephon Diggs missed some plays. But at the end of the day, it's just something that we've seen year after year when it comes to this Chiefs-Bills matchup. Chiefs has won the last three meetings in the playoffs. And I just think it's coming down to just being outcoached. You can't say I would say not having linebackers for the Bills kind of hurt them, but that's not for them to be in the game. That's not an excuse. You know what you're gonna get from Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Why is Travis Kelce wide open in the middle of the field, walking in the end zone for a touchdown? That's just unacceptable. He's their best player. Bills made a lot of mistakes. Like I said, didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities. They ran the ball right down the Chiefs' throat all game. Something that they was doing all game. So it's not like they can't compete with these guys. I just don't understand, them capitalizing. You might say Diggs need to get more involved, but he was kind of being covered by two corners, two of the best defensive backs from time to time. Wasn't the whole game. Again, he dropped the deep pass, but not having Gabe Davis. At the end of the day, I know I'm speaking a lot. It's just a lot about this game irritated me, but I know all the credit is going to go to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
What else about this game irritated? I want you to get all your irritations out, man.
I mean, it is irritating me because I just know that if you allow the Chiefs to stay in the game, you allow the Chiefs to hang around, they're going to do exactly what they did. And again, I don't think that it had to come down to the last possession. I don't think it had to come down to a field goal. There were multiple times in which the Bills could have scored, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just my thought process behind it. But you can't blame it on anything else than Patrick Mahomes capitalizing on the opportunities, unlike Josh Allen, because like I said, their defense wasn't doing too much that was impressive. They were not stopping the run. When it came to the pass, they weren't really defending that as well either. So again, they were just outplayed, outcoached. Patrick Mahomes did his thing, and again, Ravens are my only hope, but I doubt that's gonna happen. But I'll say my prediction for that too.
Take it in my head, yo.
I'm sorry, man. I'll be rooting for y'all.
That shit is just like that. Everybody's saying that, like the Ravens have the best fucking record in the NFL.
It don't mean
it's like
nothing,
it used to make it sound like we have no hope.
Laying Joe,
crazy. I'm gonna get into it though.
Yeah. Shout out to the Chiefs. I hate to say it, because they know what's coming next week, but shout out to them. 6 straight AFC Championship games in 6 years since Mahomes been there is insane. He's reaching that's like LeBron levels type shit. Crazy. I felt the Bills. They had a good team, but they also dealt with a lot of injuries. I believe Matt Milano's a top 5 linebacker in the league, and they needed him big time for this type of matchup because it was exactly exploit the injuries that the Bills had, which were the linebackers, and they had a couple of D linemen injured as well, and they got exposed really. But it's playoffs. Everybody is injured. A lot of people are banged up, and realistically, with it still would have been a battle. But is what I'm saying is you goes against Mahomes. I am very disappointed in Stephon Diggs. I believe in the playoffs, your biggest stars, this is where you're supposed to shine the brightest. He did not show up at all, and he could say, but that's neither here nor there. He needed to 1 yards that's not going to get it done. You can point fingers, you can blame who you want, but he dropped a big time pass that could have changed the game. But I credit to the Chiefs, but we got something for them next week, so I'm not really stressed. Wasn't impressed, really.
All right. I'm surprised nobody said anything about Josh Allen play in the fourth quarter. But so we know what we was going to expect, man. We've seen this every time they played. It's pretty much a close game, comes down to the wire, either a field goal or overtime. But what made the differences between, for me, it wasn't the Sherfield drop, it wasn't the Diggs drop, it was the lack of, can I say this? The lack of awareness for me from Josh Allen. That wasn't for me because he takes 2 big shots at the end of the game to go into the end zone. I watched that play probably 3 or 4 times. Both of those plays. He had an underneath route that would have gave him that. Oh, excuse me. Give me a second.
I can talk. The underneath route, Joey's probably talking about Stephon Diggs, where everybody say, "Oh, the Sherfield thing was a good throw." Why? If you're worried about Mahomes scoring because he's been dealing your offense all game, why would you try to score fast? And I get you want to score, but why try to score fast when you can waste more time off the clock? Get the Diggs, make him make something work with the thing.
I didn't think that hurt them though.
Sorry. My food was here.
You think that you think they should have killed clock towards the end, or
Yeah.
I thought that actually hurt them because that like hurt their like rhythm.
No, they had a whole 2 minutes.
Regardless,
I know, but they were running the ball instead of trying to like.
But that would have put him closer for a field goal too.
That was
what I'm saying. I think they hurt that hurt them.
Well, no,
running the foot because they weren't running it effectively at that point. They were trying. I'm kind of glad you guys brought up milking the clock. Josh Allen had time, and he could have milked the clock a lot more, but he didn't. He took shots in the end zone when he didn't have to. You're 40 yards away from the end zone. You just need a field goal to tie the game or a touchdown to win the game. He had 2 underneath routes. Both of those plays wide open in the middle of the field. He missed those guys. He runs around and he throws the ball in the end zone, and the ball is inaccurate. One of the balls he was sitting in the pocket. Nope, stop it. When he was sitting in the pocket. He did not get hit on that one in the middle of the field when he ran. He didn't get to step through. He was throwing flat-footed, bro.
Whose fault is that?
And the lineman was right there in his fucking
all he had to do was move to the side. He just had to move to the side.
So
that's Joey's point. Lack of awareness.
My question is, whose fault is that? You have to be aware of the down, the situation, and what you're doing. And when it comes down to it, we saw Josh Allen playing like Lamar yesterday. The man was running for his life. And yes, it was great. He was scoring touchdowns. He was doing what he had to do. But when they asked him to throw the ball in this game time situation, he fell short. And I understand you probably could have won a game maybe 2 or 3 drives ago. But when you're in the situation, you need to play from your quarterback. He has to make it happen. And I'm tired of us giving Josh Allen passes.
I ain't giving him no pass.
He's old. He's old.
We have to stop giving him passes, man, because right now we put him. That's why we were talking about elite quarterbacks. I didn't have him as my elite quarterback for me. He's not.
I was going to start.
My elite quarterbacks don't do that.
I was going to start the podcast, and I was going to say this at some point, but I'm happy you bring it up. We're going to be talking next year about Josh Allen not being a top 5 quarterback in the AFC in a couple of years. Him not being top 5 in his own conference in a couple of years. Not a couple of years. I'm telling you, at some point next year, we're going to say he's not top 5. We're going to say Mahomes is better than him. We're going to say Burrow's better than him. Next year, we're going to say Aaron Rodgers is better than him. We're going to say CJ Stroud's better than him.
You're so disrespectful. You said all those names.
And you didn't even say Lawrence.
I'm going to say Lamar. We're going to say Lamar's better than him. And then possibly we're going to say Lawrence may be better than him.
No.
Herbert may be better than him.
No.
Stephon Diggs will not be back on that team next year.
They are $47 million above the cap, and they have 20 free agents they have to sign. They don't have it.
Yeah, no, I doubt he's going to be back too. I don't believe he'll be back, but I don't like.
He's going to look like the Josh Allen we've seen before Diggs, and trust me, we don't want to see that. And he was not top 5. I don't even know he was 10.
We're not gonna.
So we're gonna have conversations about him not being top 5 in the AFC next year. Those other conversations are going to happen about Josh Allen. Which names are you refuting? Are you refuting Burrell? Are you refuting Mahomes?
I am. I'm not refuting Burrow, or I'm not refuting obviously Mahomes and Lamar.
I might refute Trevor because Trevor was not the prince that was promised this year.
I think DJ Stroud.
Herbert Herbert has come up short. Trevor Lawrence has come up short lately. These quarterbacks are not performing. Sorry, that happens often. But yeah. So yeah.
I thought that was me. I was tripping, right?
You know, my heads. Yeah, well, let's pump the brakes a little bit. His performance was very not underwhelming. We expect a lot more from Josh Allen, but even with this, the
16 completions behind the line of scrimmage.
Diggs has to perform way better than what he has been performing in the
Thank
past.
you, and I'm gonna get to that in the last three playoffs.
But in the same breath, and that's not to say the same. In the same breath, we can see why. We can literally see why.
We are making excuses for Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
All right. So before we even get into this stupid argument that you're going to sit up here, is Stephon Diggs still a top talent in the league? Top what talent in the league? Yes or no?
He ain't top five.
Players have bad years.
Hey, Josh Allen.
No, Theo. He's been to 3 playoffs and hasn't scored a touchdown.
Hey,
we're not
Josh
doing
Allen's
that.
still ahead of.
Hey,
Josh Allen's still ahead of Jalen Hurts for me, though.
I'm talking about as a receiver.
I'm talking about in playoffs, like Lincoln said. When the playoffs come, we expect
receivers to win playoff games. It's on receivers to win playoff games now.
Theo, you go 3 playoffs without scoring a touchdown, bro. That's on you. I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
That's on my quarterback who can't throw the ball. Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns in one game. So what you telling me?
That's because Gabe Davis was getting open.
I'm just okay.
And he was getting double teamed, so I'll leave you to that. But yesterday he got strapped.
Yes,
we're not doing that.
I said he was bro. It was one play where both Snead and McDuffie were covering him. Like, what are we talking about? Like they were following him. Should he be performing better? Yes. I've said that for the past 6 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever.
I'm saying for the past 3 years in the playoffs, he had 0 touchdowns.
So let me ask. So let me ask you, because when we talk about top 5 talent, when top 5 talent go versus top 10 talent at DB, they still ball.
Yeah, and they're gonna be cooking Ramsey whenever they ball. Whenever they battle.
I just told you in the last 3 playoff seasons he ain't scored a touchdown.
Bro, we're not talking about play. We keep on bringing up this
because that's what matters the most, DL.
Hold on, Wayne. Let's not even talk about playoffs. Let's talk about the last run, the run that the Bills had. They won the last 5 of their 6 games. Do you know how relevant Stephon Diggs was in those last 6 games?
Not very, because they've been running the ball a lot more, Joey. James Cook has been a lot more involved in their offense.
And what happened, DL? What happened? Why they start running the ball? Because their passing game wasn't working well. Stephon Diggs wasn't having a good season before that.
Josh Allen has been turning the ball over because the decision making sucks. That's why. Josh Allen has 20-something turnovers this year. Like, that's ridiculous. So is that Dick's fault as well? I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's like, you're not gonna sit up here and tell me he's getting strapped every single route he runs. That makes no sense. No receiver gets strapped every single route. But that's what y'all make it seem like. Like that's like I get it. He's not playing like Diggs has been playing over the past years, but come on, bro. You're still
in
taking
the playoffs. He's a playoff
dropper. I'm just saying he's a ghost when it comes to big games and playoffs.
He maybe can't play in the cold.
He only plays good against Dolphins. That's what every time I see him, when he played against Dolphins, that's when he won.
And that drop was inexcusable. That drop was inexcusable. But Josh Allen, I want to talk about this tailback.
He's top 7 talent, DL. Top 7.
This tailback, if you throw the ball 39 times and you don't throw for over 200 yards, that's disgusting. We're gonna have some context in it because he could have had over 200 yards if guys caught the balls. But I ain't gonna be too nasty. But 16 of his completions last night were behind the line of scrimmage. With 16 for 16. He went 10 of 21 beyond the line of scrimmage for 95 yards and 1 touchdown. 2 of those completions were past the stick. So, I mean, there are 2 completions past 10 yards. When you have a rocket arm like that, when your arm talent is like that, that's why everybody knows he had a guy in his lap. When we talk about how Josh Allen has the strongest arm in the league. He should be able to make that throw. But more importantly, he should have the awareness to know what he needs to do in order to make that throw. So, Josh Allen is a loser. He's a Phillip Rivers of his generation. And I'm telling you guys this right now. Josh Allen will never win a Super Bowl. He will never. I said this last year. I'm going to say it again. He will never win a Super Bowl because the guys ahead of him are better than him. And next year, we're going to have these conversations about him not being a top 5 quarterback in the AFC conference. Stamp it. You heard it here first. January 22nd, 8:36 p.m. Wayne knows, man. That's all I'm going to say, man. This guy's overrated. He's Phillip Rivers of the generation. And I don't expect anything from him at all. Try to say he was Big Ben. The disrespect.
Does win a Super Bowl, he will be Big Ben.
He'd be Eli.
Arguably
Hall of
better.
Famer, man.
All right, now we're gonna sit here and say Eli better than Ben. All right, let's go.
Eli Hall of Fame.
No, he
Like,
said better
what?
than Ben. He said he better than Ben. That's what DL said.
Oh no, Big Ben's not. Eli's not better than Big Ben.
He go twice.
He's not. He's not better than Big Ben.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to these predictions, man. The first game we got up, Lions 49ers. Fellas, I want you to tell me who you got, reason why, and one key to the game.
I'll start. I got the Lions. I've already kind of stated it. Wasn't really impressed with what I saw out of 49ers, especially that defense. Majority of them guys did play that last week before the season ended. Maybe all but a few of them. Majority of that defense was out there, so they have no excuse for having poor performance. Maybe Brock Purdy does and CMC because they sat, but they played pretty well. Except for Purdy didn't really impress me. I think the Lions are going to get this one. I think the Lions are hot. I think the 49ers are really going to sleep on them. And the key is the running game. Like I keep saying, if they can run the football, which they can run the football with that offensive line against that defensive line, I'm stamping it right now. Lions are going to win this football game off of their scheme. Run the ball to open up the passing game. I really believe it's going to be a Lions NFC Championship win.
I got the 49ers.
Why do you have the 49ers show?
I don't trust the Lions. It's more I don't trust the Lions more than the 49ers. I don't trust the Lions playing a really good team like that. 49ers are probably the most complete team that we've seen in a while. So I think there's not much room for error with the 49ers. And I think the Lions, anytime they play it, like I said, a high caliber team like them, it doesn't go well for them. It's either going to be a close game or it's a blowout, and a close game that they lose. So it's more of I don't really trust. I'm not going to say trust. I don't think the Lions have all the pieces to beat the 49ers. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Move.
I got Detroit. I think it's gonna be a close game, hard fought game. The key for me, the key to the game is definitely gonna be Lions defense playing up to the competition. Stopping Christian McCaffrey. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing. Obviously their the Lions DBs isn't the best thing on paper, but they've been showing their ability to keep them in games. Brian Branch playing very well for them at slot corner. So I think he'll be able to shadow if Debo play him. Hold him to X amount of yards. But I'm just not confident in Brock Purdy. Again, he has all the pieces, I think, but it's Brock Purdy. I think Jared Goff and this offense will do just enough to get this win or had a one-up on the defense. But I think it's going to be a very close game. I got Detroit winning 24-21.
Layton, talk to us, man. Talk to us.
Well, I know earlier I said I was feeling the Lions, but I think I'm gonna renege on that. I think I'm leaning 49ers. I think the 49ers are gonna pull through. I think that I think Christian McCaffrey is gonna have a big game, honestly. I'm not really the biggest fan of Brock Purdy, but I am a fan of Christian McCaffrey. He's probably gonna be the offensive player of the year. he hasn't been stopped really all season. I don't really see him being stopped now. I'll probably take 49ers in a close one, 28-24.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me, man. I got the 49ers winning this game simply because the last time the Lions played any teams that could run the ball, they lost. Played the Ravens, they lost. They played the Packers, they lost. They're not going to be able to stop C-Mac. All these teams that they played so far in the playoffs were more passing teams versus running teams. And I don't think they'll be able to slow them down. The one thing that the Niners do have some going for them is they have somebody to slow down Sam Laporta, who's been dominating teams linebackers. Between Greenlaw and Warner, who y'all cheated by the way, said he was mixed in the white and black draft, but he's actually Spanish and black. So he should have been on our team. I digress. I'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, they'll be able to stop them. And like Layton said, man, they're not gonna be able to stop C-Mac. I think this run game is gonna go, and then once this run game gets going, play action is gonna be in the path, and they'll be able to do what they need to do in order to win the game. So yeah, I got the Niners winning this game. It's gonna be a good one though, but I do got the Niners winning this game. It's gonna be a 10-point game. It's gonna be 11-point game, 20-31. I got the 49ers. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next game, fellas. AFC Championship, which I think we can all say, game of the week. Definitely the game of the week. The game that probably everyone's going to be looking forward to. You got the Trappers versus the Swifties. Go ahead, man. Tell me why the Ravens are going to win this game, Chubbs.
Strictly because they're just the better football team. I mean, they've shown it all year that they're the best football team in the league. Offensive game, they I'm pretty sure I don't know the real stat, but they've been scoring like 30 plus points consecutively for the last how many weeks? Besides, obviously, they didn't score the last week because Huntley was starting. But they've been putting up points per game like no other, highly efficient, and that defense has been historic. I really believe that we have all the pieces this year. It's like it's the Ravens' year, and not discrediting anything. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a battle between Lamar and Patty. I really believe it, but I just believe that the Ravens' defense are going to get more stops than the Chiefs' defense. I really believe that Lamar's taking this game and this playoff run and this year very super personal, and he's like ultra focused. Like for instance, we talked about that game this week. When have we ever heard Lamar Jackson step up and address the whole team cursing, like getting in their ass about something? Like the media found out about it. We've never heard that. And I'm just going to make one point. People talk about that 2021 victory that we had. They had Tyreek Hill on that Chiefs team. They had a pretty good defense on that Chiefs team. I'm pretty sure that was still the Super Bowl team right there. They had a more prime. I mean, Travis Kelce still prime, still best tight end, but of a younger Travis Kelce. And they lost that game because of a lucky fumble recovery. But look at the Ravens roster. Running backs were Tyson Williams, Devontae Freeman. J.K. was hurt. Gus was banged up. Justin was banged up. We had Sammy Watkins in our receiving core. We didn't have Roquan Smith. We didn't have Kyle Hamilton. We had Marcus Peters, who he's either getting a pick or he's not. We had Marlon Humphrey, who was playing better, but Marlon's hit or miss right now. We didn't have Marcus Williams. We didn't have Patrick Queen playing the way he's playing right now. We didn't have Justin Madubuike with the 13 sacks. We didn't have Jadeveon Clowney. We didn't have Kyle Van Noy, who's having a career year, getting sacks. It's a totally different team. I just think they're going to come out on top strictly off. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be. I'm going to go 31-27 Ravens. I think it's going to be high scoring. I don't think they're going to keep Patty out the end zone. I know it's a historic defense. I get it. I mean, they are really good. I have high on them, but they're not going to put the offense at 3 points like they did the previous week. I don't believe it. Now, I don't trust the receivers over on the other end. I know they've been playing really well. It's all going to be matchups, Wayne. Kyle Hamilton's probably going to be on Travis Kelce. Our corners have been playing highly efficient. I'm confident with whoever they're going up against. If Stevens and Darby are on Rashee Rice, cool. I'm cool with that. I don't think you're going to do shit on the offense on the running game. I'm going to say that shit right now. I think Roquan and Patrick Queen are going to punch as Pacheco in the mouth like they have every running back they've fought, except for McCaffrey. So it's going to be close, though. It's going to be close. That's all I got. Ravens on top, obviously.
Leighton, tell me why the Ravens are going to win.
For a lot of the things my boy Chubb just said. I mean, you see it, man. Like, this is, this is our first time we've had an AFC championship in Baltimore. Like, chances like this don't come around often. Like, it's the perfect time. Patrick Mahomes is obviously the best in the league right now. This is our time. Like, somebody has to slay the dragon. This is our chance to do it. I think we have been locked in a whole different mindset since week one. Every press conference I've seen, no matter what, win or lose, we locked in. Taking it week by week, not just focus on the Super Bowl, but week by week, just a game at a time, just locked in. Roquan Smith, we did not have him in 2019. We didn't have him in 2021. But he is a difference maker. Having him and Lamar for the next 5 years is something that Ravens fans should feel very good about. I say we should feel very good about that. Our championship window can be open for a long time, but I'm not gonna say things like that until we take down Milhomme. He's been there 6 straight years. We got to get it. So I just think this is the year. We have to do it.
Oh, and Mark Andrews is going to play.
Joey, smooth.
I'll go. Said this is the year for Lamar to go to the Super Bowl. I hope he does. I really do. My take is the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens. Another reason I'm going with the Ravens is after watching the Bills and Kansas City game. Kansas City had a hard time stopping the run until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, they didn't run the ball as much for the Bills, which they probably should have. But they did have a hard time stopping the run, and we all know that's the biggest strength of the Ravens. They can run the football. I said this in the beginning of the year when I believe when the Ravens lost to the Steelers, and I said the Ravens are trying to do something they don't normally do in the red zone, is throw the ball. And I think once they switch to running the ball more in the red zone, that's when we start to see the Ravens pick up traction. They start to pick up momentum, and they started balling out throughout the season. The defense has been phenomenal all season. So I think Patty's going to have a hard time there. They match up very well against that Kansas City offense with the DBs they have and the linebackers. So I think Patty is going to have a hard time finding open people. I don't think he's going to have a hard time with the pass rush. It doesn't matter how many people you send at Patty. He will dance around you and he will get around you. But I think he's going to have a hard time finding open people down the field. And that's going to be one of the struggles he might have. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the Ravens do come out on top, and Lamar makes his first trip to the Super Bowl.
There would be nothing more that I want to see than for Patrick Mahomes to not make it to another Super Bowl right now. But with that being said, I don't think that this is the year for that to not happen. I think the Chiefs are hot. I think this is what we're used to seeing as far as them just being in this situation every single year and coming out on top, basically. I mean, I know it may seem it's a little bit different because it's the Ravens, and on paper, the Ravens are good. All season, the Ravens have been good. I think that this will be a very good game. It might come down to the last play, last possession, whatever the case may be. But again, I just think that this is a Kansas City team that's experienced. You got two great head coaches going at it as well. It's gonna be a chess match from that perspective. But everything is just telling me that Kansas City gonna pull this one off. I will say though, I want the Ravens to win. I do want the Ravens to win. So this is not a pick against the Ravens. I think again, if they're able to pull this one off, the Ravens that is, Lamar solidifies his status of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But he gotta beat Patty first, and I just think that's just it. It's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, y'all look good on paper. Y'all defense is good. Been playing very well. But again, they've been there before.
You're muted.
I think we all know
Oh,
where I'm going with it. I got the Chiefs, obviously. I do disagree where you guys say that you guys don't think the Chiefs is going to be able to run. I do think the Chiefs are going to be able to run because of how they're going to scheme it up. Not because how they're going to bully, because what they did versus Buffalo was very beautiful with how they schemed up their runs and what they did to scheme it up. They weren't really bullying on Buffalo. They were just scheming up great run plays. I think that's going to be a reason why they'll be able to win this game. Secondly, the biggest matchup in this game, Chubbs kind of said it, Kyle Hamilton versus Travis Kelce. What can happen with that matchup? But I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one thing. I think it's going to be a trio of what Kyle Hamilton, Patrick Queen, and Roquan can do to Travis Kelce. Because I think you're going to see a lot of double coverages. Kyle on top, one of those two underneath to figure out what's going to go on. So what's going to win this game for the Chiefs are going to be two people. And it's going to be crazy to say this. I think MVS is going to be the reason why the Chiefs win this game. Then there's going to be a lot of attention on Rice and the coverage of Kelce. That MVS is going to make a big catch in this game, like he did this past week. That's going to help the Chiefs win this game. This game is going to be a nail biter. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the end. And I think the reason why the Chiefs win this game is because I think Patrick Mahomes will score with time left to leave for Lamar, but Baltimore will fail simply because I believe the one thing the Chiefs do have working in their favor that a lot of teams in Baltimore didn't face is the pass rush from inside between the A and B gap with Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is going to have a big impact on this game when it does come to that. And more importantly, I think the Chiefs are not going to let him scramble as much. You saw it with Josh Allen scramble a lot in the first half, but in the second half, they put the spy on. Steve Spagnuolo mixed up some blitzes, put a spy on Josh Allen to kind of mitigate him and make him double think. And I think there's gonna be moments in the game where the Chiefs are gonna make Lamar double think, and it's gonna lead to not a turnover, but a punt. And you can't punt the ball so many times versus the Chiefs. And that's the reason why the Chiefs beat the Bills, because the Chiefs punted late in the game while the Bills punted in the second half, early in the second half. And when they punted, the Chiefs made them pay. So, and when the Chiefs did punt, they punted them and pinned them back. They were still able to move the ball, but they pinned them back. While when Buffalo punted, Chiefs still had good and favorable field position. This Chiefs defense is a lot better than a lot of people have been giving them credit for. I think they had a bad game last week, and I think Steve Spagnuolo will be able to make some things up. I do think it's gonna be a close game. I got this game being 21-27. Chiefs win this game. But it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be one hell of a game. It's gonna be 21-20 with like 6 minutes left into the game. Patrick Mahomes gonna have the ball, go down, score. Lamar Jackson probably get the ball back with a minute. It's not gonna be enough time for him to actually win the game. So, great game. And also the one thing I think the Chiefs have that a lot of these other teams have, Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed. You got a slot corner that's an all-pro, and you got an outside corner that's an all-pro. A lot of teams do not have that. So they can deal. Trent McDuffie can help and deal with Zay Flowers, deal with Odell Beckham, deal with Rashad Bateman, right? I think Mark Andrews actually being back is a bad thing, for the simple fact that I think when Mark Andrews isn't there, Lamar spreads the ball out a little bit more, and it's a little bit more difficult to actually cover that offense. I feel like when Mark Andrews is there, he's like, I got this great weapon. I got to make sure I get this great weapon the ball. So that's just my personal opinion. But I got
to I think slowing down Josh Allen from scrambling is a lot different than slowing down Lamar Jackson.
I agree that. I agree with that too. I didn't say it's the same thing, but they are going to spy him, and they're going to spy.
Bro, how many people you think spy Lamar?
Bro.
They know Lamar runs the ball.
But the Texans did it for a while, and then they stopped. When they did it, it worked, and then they stopped doing it because the game started getting away from them. It
started getting away from them.
They started running the ball. They started running the ball more in the passing situations, like in the middle of the field. They were able to make sure he didn't scramble. I think he got a couple of those scrambles, but afterwards, he got the bootlegs. He got that. It was great.
You seen it.
So
after every time they what's it called? Josh Allen lost to a team following week. What happened? L.
That's what he's hoping on. All right. So yeah, I agree, Joey. Definitely, it's a difficult task. But I do think the Chiefs have a better front four, way better front four than the Texans actually had. Drew Karlaftis has been playing really well, and obviously they have Chris Jones, who, in my opinion, is top 2, if not the best.
But the spy would probably be a linebacker or a safety.
It's gonna be Willie Gay or Nick Bolton.
Yeah.
Like,
the mix of the spy and the pressure.
It should be Bolton if they want to get a stop. Willie's gonna be hurting out there.
I think Willie's gonna be hurt, so it's probably gonna be Bolton. So
running kill in the run game.
So, yeah. So I do think the Ravens gonna be able to run the ball, but I think, like Joey said, in the fourth quarter when it doesn't matter, I think the Chiefs will be able to slow it down, because the Bills did try to run the ball a couple times in the fourth quarter, and the shit did get shut down, and they ran away from it.
It was -4 yards, -4 yards, 0 yards, and 1 yard.
And then they said, "Fuck that!" After that. So that's what's gonna happen. So that's what I think is gonna happen. Like, eventually, they're gonna be on their ass, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna have to find a way to score, and the best way to score is this way." Because honestly, looking at the clock versus Patty really don't fucking matter, because the Bills had time of possession 14 more minutes. Last year in the Super Bowl, the Eagles had time of possession 14 more minutes. It don't matter.
It does not matter.
It don't matter.
It does not matter.
You're gonna have to milk a quarter like we do in Madden.
I'm gonna switch my pick right here, bro, because I ain't gonna do this, right? Because you know why I'm gonna switch my pick? Because I said this on the last pod, and I gotta stay consistent. Patty Mahomes has been the underdog 11 times now. Now he is 9-1-1. So I can't root against him, man. It's like rooting against Brady at this point.
Yeah, bro, it's just so annoying, bro. That's what I'm just saying.
Now you know how we felt with the Patriots, DL.
I literally knew that this was going, because the thing is, like, we weren't doing this like every single year. Patrick Mahomes has been an AFC Championship every single year for the past 5 years, bro. This is annoying. Like, we were like every other year, every 2 years. Like this has become annoying. I'm just
He's
like,
made it to this point for 6 years straight,
and it's like if it
but
was
he
like,
hasn't made it to the Super Bowl every year.
and
But
I'm not. Maybe it's hate. I think Patrick Mahomes is great. Don't get me wrong, but maybe it's because it's the Chiefs as a team. They're just not impressive to me. I don't like the Chiefs as
This
a
year
team.
for sure, I agree with you.
Like
we've
they
been
had
saying
two
that all
people-
season, but look where we are at right now. Look at us. And then
Yeah.
when I said in the playoffs, I said they're going to start catching the ball in the playoffs.
But I
It
said,
happens.
I said, look, if they make the playoffs, they're going to win. The Super Bowl. But I was hoping they didn't make the playoffs because I knew that
Don't
this was
worry.
going to happen. So Ravens, y'all my only hope. So let me say that y'all gonna lose, so maybe y'all win.
They say Lamar's our only.
Ravens money line.
They said Lamar's our only chance for a Taylor Swift list. Super Bowl.
They gonna kick Usher out and say, yeah, cheap performer.
Oh, Lamar, you gotta do it for Usher, bro. Do it for Usher.
Right, you should see all the memes of the Baltimore guys saying, "Taylor, you better bring big security or some shit." I was like, "Yo, relax. That's not cool."
That was
Oh, I do want to touch on one thing. Bill fans, you guys are scumbags. I just want to say that. Throwing snowballs at players during games is trash. Throwing any objects at players during games is trash. Like they were doing it to the Chiefs defense. Yeah, this was the first time I actually paid attention. This was disgusting. I saw them doing it in every single playoff game. They threw a fucking snowball at George Pickens when he tried to catch the ball. Did the same thing at Mecole Hardman in the middle of his route. That's nasty, bro. And I think any fan that they should get fined, like the Bills organization should get fined. They gotta control that. That's disgusting.
That's why Miami don't like going to Buffalo, man. They ain't nice with that.
Robs used to have it rough, man. I don't know nothing about snowball.
All right, man. That is the end of the episode, fellas. Though, y'all got anything y'all want to say? Any last notes before we get up out of here? Outside of Ravens money line,
Jordan B got 60 points right now, starting this fourth quarter.
That's crazy.
He had 35
You
at
said
halftime.
who?
Joel Embiid.
60 points starting the fourth quarter, bro.
He had 35 at halftime. He cooking Wemby ass. Okay.
Wemby got 30.
Tell that nigga make it.
That's
to the
half his
championship.
Wemby not playing defense.
Rookie. Stop, man.
Wemby not playing defense.
I don't care if you're a rookie or a cookie. 60 at entered the fourth.
60 is crazy.
Well, first of all, Joel B also has made 17 free throws, which is also disgusting.
Look,
that's
man,
still 43 points he has it on field.
I don't want to hear nothing about Joel Embiid until you make it to the championship, bro. Because the everything is just regular season stuff, bro. When you get to the playoffs, the man falling over, he's hurt, pinky hurt. Like I'm all this stuff in the regular season is fluff to me right now, bro. I need to see. I need to see more. I need to see more.
All right, man. Layton, we appreciate you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Be back next week too after the L. All right, man.
Hey, just let me know. Listen, Ravens money line one more time. Thank you. Telling you.
I'm letting y'all know right now. When Patty wins, and he wins another Super Bowl, back to back, I am going to be unbearable. Just letting you guys know right now. Brady who? Brady who?
Brady got back.
Brady who?
Brady does have back to back.
Brady who? All right, man. Till next time, we'll holler.